Hi everyone! Today we're going to tell the story of a very special character, the blue fox. Our story starts in a beautiful, sprawling forest. This place was massive, filled with ancient trees and hidden paths that seemed to go on forever. Living here was a small fox who was having a very difficult day. He was incredibly hungry. He spent hours searching through the thickets and tall grass, but every time he looked for food, he came up empty-handed. The forest was so big, and he felt so small. With no food in sight and his energy fading, he eventually sat down on a large stone, feeling completely defeated by the silence of the woods. Suddenly, he spotted a giant bowl sitting in the clearing. Thinking it might hold a hidden feast, he didn't wait a second. He took a giant leap and landed straight into the center. But it wasn't food. The bowl was full of blue dye. When the fox finally climbed back out, he looked in a reflection of a puddle and saw that he had turned bright blue from his ears to his paws. He tried to find his friends to explain what happened, but the moment the bunny saw him, she shrieked and ran away. When he approached the elephant, the giant animal turned and lunged into the trees in a panic. His hunger was still there, but now it was joined by a new problem. His own friends no longer recognized him, leaving him more isolated than he had ever been. The fox noticed that while the animals were scared, they were also listening. He realized that as long as they didn't know who he really was, he could use their fear to his advantage. He gathered the trembling animals and announced that he was a special creature from a faraway land. He told them, "I am your king, and you must follow my every command." He began making demands. He told the animals they must bring him the finest food in the forest, take care of his every need, and even tell him stories every night to help him sleep. Because of his strange blue fur, the animals believed him. They spent their days gathering fruit and nuts for the fox, convinced they were serving a powerful, magical ruler. The fox's belly was finally full, but his new life was built on a single layer of paint. He was living in luxury, but one mistake would reveal the truth and ruin everything. One evening, a massive full moon rose over the trees, bathing the entire forest in a soft white light. Deep in the distance, a pack of ordinary foxes began to howl at the moon. Their voices echoed through the clearing where the animals were serving their king. The blue fox heard the sound and felt something stir inside him. Forgetting his royal act, he tilted his head back and joined in, letting out a loud, natural howl that rang through the night. The other animals stopped in their tracks. They looked at each other, confused. Their special king sounded exactly like the common foxes they saw every day. Even with his blue coat, his true nature was still there. He couldn't hide who he was the moment his instincts took over. Suddenly, the wind picked up and the sky opened. A massive rainstorm began to pour down on the forest. As the heavy rain hit the fox, the blue dye began to run. Bit by bit, the bright color faded away, and his original orange fur was revealed for everyone to see. The animals stared in shock. They realized that the special king they had been feeding and serving was just a regular fox who had tricked them. They were furious. The animals scolded him for his lies, and the fox, feeling a deep sense of shame, ran away into the trees to hide from their anger. By choosing to lie, the fox had traded the respect of his friends for a few days of easy food. Now, he was more alone than he was when he started. When the rain finally stopped, the fox sat by himself in a quiet corner of the forest, thinking about everything that had happened. He realized that the food he gained through deception didn't taste nearly as good as the friendships he had lost. The effort of maintaining the lie had been exhausting. He looked at his orange fur and smiled. He was relieved to finally look like himself again. He didn't need to be a king to find peace in the forest. The fox learned that it is much easier to live honestly than to carry the weight of a disguise. Being yourself allows you to connect with others without the constant worry of being found out. We can all find that same peace by being our authentic selves every day. Thanks for listening to our story. Don't forget to subscribe for more.